Hello, welcome back to another video. It is another digital one. I'm sorry, I just did not have the time and sometimes not even the sunshine to make a traditional video happen because we are once again into the part of the year where I struggle to get anything done. So, yeah, but that's okay. This was actually older than the last video that I made. It is from before October, I believe. And I was just going through one of those timed videos with the figures. So yeah, it's not very good. I don't know what it was, but I wasn't starting out with rhythms like I usually do when I'm in for the shorter times, like the 30 seconds and blah 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 ones. I tend to enjoy those, but this time I did not, and I could feel myself struggling quite a bit. So I did cut out some of them because they were just me fumbling a lot for no apparent reason. So it was very clear that I hadn't done them and I was feeling weird about it and I wasn't in the headspace for it, which I've talked about it before, but that's just something that happens sometimes. The worst thing is watching it back and seeing where you were going wrong or seeing yourself go too fast when you need to slow down and think about it. One of the things that I usually do to combat this, especially if I'm going to do a timed session, which, I don't know, might seem counterproductive to some people, which is fine, I do what I want, but I tend to do a little bit of drawing just before. Sometimes I do it from my imagination first, just to warm up my hand. This is usually not very long, 15-20 minutes at most. And then I bring up references and I draw from those for however long it takes to get it to look the way that I want it to look, because it just reteaches my hand about the shapes that I'm drawing, the rhythms that I need, and reminds my brain about the anatomy that I'm trying to capture. Then I move on to a timed session, which kind of gets me into better line economy, and I don't know, I just do a better job when I do that, and I feel like I get more out of it, so I warm up some more, and yeah, I guess it just puts my brain in the space that it needs to be in so I can do a good job. And the only downside to that is it makes the practice time much longer, so if I have something else to do, I have to move quickly through some of that stuff, so, you know, I do what I can with what I have. So the big rectangle on the side that is blocking some of this is because there is a figure there that is so horrible I felt it needed to be redacted. It was really, really bad and I really didn't like it, and I don't know why I did such a horrible job aside from the second I saw the pose, I didn't want to draw it. And it shows for me. I'm awful about that stuff. My lack of interest is palpable. It's awful. It really is. I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. I should. Once I mess it up, I usually force myself to go back and redo those ones in a new headspace. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. But I did not make myself do that. And I was already just not, as I said, I was not feeling it. It just wasn't. When I have the days where I'm really into figure drawing, I could do it for 2 hours happily, but this was not it. And I tend to do that more with anatomy. I really like studying parts. So if there's something like a vehicle and it has just different parts to it, shapes and things like that, I love breaking that stuff down. It makes me so happy. It does something good for my brain. Yeah, which is probably why I really liked, Animal Planet documentaries on things like that, animal stuff. Because there you could see so many different parts, but it's all made of the same stuff, as in, muscle and bone just being in different places. And so I was really into that for a long, long time. Bugs too, I just love that stuff. Construction, I guess. I really like construction and shape stuff, which makes me a little sad that I'm not as good at it as I'd like to be, which is all practice related and mental. So yeah, But once I get into that space, it's nice. It feels really good. It makes me feel happy. The only downside is when I enter that and I stay in it for too long, I forget how to do things myself. And it's not a place I like to be in. I really enjoy constructing things from my brain. So finding that happy medium is always worth the struggle, in my opinion, for my own ends, I guess. But yeah, I feel like as I go, you can see when I'm taking the time to think. And you can also see when I lose interest, which is not good. You're not supposed to be able to see that, I'm sure, but yeah, I do have my days. Honestly, if I've been having to do a lot of things that I don't want to do already, forcing myself, this is like being a sim where they start getting mad that they haven't had any fun. They have had no entertainment. Yeah, I think I get to that space. Whereas if I can scribble whatever I want, I'm a happy camper. But whenever I have to do a lot of things all the time that I don't do and I'm forcing myself to do, it gets really hard to do these types of things. I guess I'm just a big baby. So, yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. I work with that side of myself a lot to try to fix it. For some reason, whenever I was doing this whole session, I was having an issue with legs, which is weird for me because I love drawing legs. I love the rhythms in the legs, and I like how stable it can make things look. Stable or unstable. It's really good, very dynamic. And I was not getting the shapes right. That dynamism was not good. It was not good. The shape that I'm talking about that I'm really messing up is that crease between the back of the knee and the knee itself. And I usually like the way that shape ends up looking, and just the whole time during the session I just felt like I was struggling. And I don't know if it's because the guy was wearing some really loose fitting sweats, although that's never really been an issue for me, so I don't really want to make that kind of excuse, but maybe I needed to see the shape of the legs before I really started, just to refamiliarize myself with that, because I had been busy and I hadn't been doing tons and tons of drawing, because this was, again, before I was even doing the comic. So yeah, but I'm really hoping, and I said this before, I'm really hoping to get back into very shortly. I am still kind of working on it, and all I have to do is just jump back in, and hopefully that works out for me. Fingers crossed, because I'd like to get back into it. And it was making me feel really good while I was doing it. Not necessarily because I thought it was the most beautiful thing ever, because I'm not I'm just not that kind of person. I don't feel joy in that way. I just feel good about being in the middle of something and working on it. So you can see that one that I was redacting, I guess I just left it here. I didn't fix that. You can see it's terrible. It makes me sad. It's so bad. I don't know. I should really just redo it. I made the leg short and everything. You can see that I just didn't care. It wasn't turning out. I didn't like it. I'm like, whatever. Scribble, done. I should have just deleted it, done a big ol' erase, but I like to go back through some of these files. I used to go back through to make sketchbooks, digital sketchbooks, but I haven't done that in a really long time. But I would go back through and then I would fix them later by drawing beside them or whatever I needed to do so that I could see if I figured out where I went wrong. Because if I can't fix it after that, then clearly I don't know where I made my mistake. So, yeah. But I did take too long on some of these, and I was not being considerate of my shapes in space, which does not make me happy. And then right here you can see where I went too long on the torso. Like, there is a stretch, but it's too much, and I do try to fix it with the marquee tool. I was actually just drawing last night on paper though, and doing some figure drawing, and they were turning out pretty okay, which made me feel better after having edited this, because I don't know, it made me sad. It made me sad, but it's okay. We all have our moments. But yeah, just breaking it down steadily, slowly, figuring those things out, and getting my brain to recognize those shapes, whether they're stretching or pinching or the proportions. And not everyone's going to have the same ones, but generalizing is easier for the most part. So this is pretty much the end. I really appreciate you watching. I hope that you liked it. Let me know what you thought. Have a good day or night, and bye.